laughing. I had never seen him smile, let alone make someone laugh. The jealousy that crashed through me was violent and irrational. I had no right to feel this way. He had made it clear we were nothing to each other. But my heart didn't care about logic. I went home and cried. I cried for the girl who got sold to pay her father's debts. I cried for the wife who slept alone every night. I cried for the woman who was stupid enough to fall in love with a man made of ice. The next morning, I was done. I found him. In his study, working on his laptop. I didn't knock. I just walked in and closed the door behind me. We need to talk. He looked up, surprised. I never interrupted his work. I'm busy. I don't care. My voice was stronger than I felt. I can't do this anymore, Junseo. I can't live like a ghost in your house. I can't keep pretending this is normal. What do you want me to say? I want you to tell me the truth. Why did you really marry me? You could have killed my father. You could have taken your money in a dozen other ways. Why this? He stood slowly, his face unreadable. Because the moment I saw you, I knew you were dangerous. Dangerous? I'm nobody. I have no power, no connections, nothing. Exactly. He moved closer, and I saw something raw in his eyes. You're innocent. Pure. Everything. I'm not. And I knew if I let you go, some other monster would take you. At least with me, you'd be safe. Safe? I laughed bitterly. I'm dying here, Junseo. Slowly. Every day. You won't talk to me. You won't look at me. You treat me like I'm invisible. It's better this way. Better for who? You? Because it's torture for me. You'll get used to it. No. I stepped closer. Close enough to see the gold flecks in his dark eyes. I won't. And you know what the worst part is? I saw you yesterday. With that woman. And I felt like my heart was being ripped out of my chest. I have no right to feel that way. You're not really my husband. But I can't help it. His expression changed. Something like anger, maybe. Or fear. You don't know what you're saying. I know exactly what I'm saying. Number 4. I'm number 1. I have feelings for you, Junseo. Real feelings. And I know you feel something too, even if you won't admit it. Leave my study, Rihanna. Not until you tell me the truth. The truth? His voice dropped to something dangerous. The truth is that I think about you every second of every day. The truth is that I stand outside your door at night and fight the urge to walk in. The truth is that you've gotten under my skin in a way no one ever has, and it terrifies me. Is that what you wanted to hear? My breath caught. Quast. Then why won't you let me in? Because I ruin everything I touch. And you deserve better than the darkness I carry. For 3 days after that conversation, he avoided me completely. He left before dawn and came home after midnight. But I felt his presence. I felt the tension building like a storm, ready to break. On the 4th night, I made my decision. I couldn't live in this limbo anymore. Either he wanted me, or he didn't. Either this marriage was real, or it wasn't. So I went to his room. He was standing by the window, still in his suit, a glass of whiskey in his hand. He turned, when he heard the door open. Rihanna, what are you doing here? I need to ask you something. I walked to him, my heart pounding so hard I thought it might break through my chest. And I need you to be honest with me. Go back to your room. Do you want me? The question hung in the air between us like a live wire. It doesn't matter what I want. It's the only thing that matters. I was standing right in front of him now. Because I want you. I want this marriage to be real. I want you to break your vow. You don't know what you're asking for. Then show me. His control snapped. I saw it in his eyes. The moment before he moved, the glass fell from his hand. his fingers tangled in my hair, and then his mouth was on mine, desperate and demanding, and everything I'd been dreaming about for months. He kissed me like a man, starving, like I was air and he'd been drowning. His hands were everywhere, pulling me closer, like he couldn't get enough. "Tell me to stop," he breathed against my lips. "Tell me to stop, Rihanna, because if you don't, I won't be able to." Don't stop. That night, Seo broke his vow, and I stopped being just a name on a marriage certificate. The next morning, I woke up wrapped in his arms. The cold, untouchable Mafia boss was holding me like I was something precious, something worth protecting. "I was wrong," he said quietly, his fingers tracing patterns on my shoulder. "I thought keeping you at a distance would keep you safe, but all I did was hurt us both. So, what happens now?" "Now?" He pulled me closer. "Now I stop pretending I don't love you. Now I let the world know that you're mine. Now I protect you with everything I have. Even from yourself? I would stake in there were form." He smiled. It was the first real smile I'd ever seen on his face, and it transformed him completely. Especially from myself. But happiness in the world of the Mafia is always temporary. 2 weeks later, his rivals found out about me. They found out that the Ice King had melted, that he had a weakness. They came for me on a Tuesday afternoon. I was in the garden when men I didn't recognize surrounded me. Guns drawn, faces cold. But Seoul's training had prepared his staff well. His men appeared. Within seconds, shots fired, chaos erupted, and through it all, Seo appeared like an avenging angel. Fury in his eyes, death in his hands. When it was over, when the threats were eliminated and I was safe in his arms, he held me so tight I could barely breathe. "This is why I didn't want to love you," he said into my hair. "Because now you're a target. Now you're in danger because of me. Then we face it together." I pulled back to look at him. "I didn't ask you to break your vow so we could go back to being strangers. I asked because I was ready for all of this. The danger, the darkness, all of it. As long as I have you." He kissed me then, soft and gentle, so different from the violence that had just erupted around us. "You're the bravest person I know," he whispered. "No." I smiled. "I'm just a girl who fell in love with a man made of ice and refused to let him freeze her out." 6 months later, we renewed our vows. This time with flowers and family and promises that meant something. This time when he said, "I do," I knew he meant forever. The Mafia boss who swore never to touch his bride couldn't keep his hands off her now. And the virgin who had been brave enough to ask for what she wanted got everything she'd dreamed of and more. Because sometimes, the greatest love stories start with the breaking of vows. Sometimes you have to be bold enough to ask for what your heart wants, even when the answer might destroy you. And sometimes, just sometimes, the coldest hearts melt under the warmth of someone who refuses to give up on them.